Hi, my name is Michael and welcome to my brand new YouTube channel and subsequent docu-series. We'll go with docu-series. I've been lifting for around 10 years and got into lifting initially because I was a big old fat kid. And I've trained in a variety of ways. I've trained to lose weight, I've trained to put size and muscle on, I've trained to get very lean and worked with some great bodybuilding coaches and got myself very conditioned. And more recently, I've been training specifically for strength. Before lockdown, I decided I wanted to get into powerlifting and give that a go. So what I've decided to do is record a documentary of a true journey into powerlifting, taking myself from my very first coached training sessions right up to my first competition. I signed up with a strength and conditioning gym and specific coach just before lockdown. My lifts were getting quite strong right up until lockdown, so I'd managed to get my squat up to about 165 kilos, my deadlift just over 200 kilos, and my bench to 130 kilos. Now, while this was great, I started to plateau quite significantly, and upon research, understood that it wasn't a case of going into the gym, pulling the biggest numbers you could, going home, rinse, repeat, eat. So there is actually quite a lot of science behind it. What I aim for this first episode to be is a guide through my first 4 weeks, showing the program, talking to the coaches and understanding the rationale, demonstrating the exercises, and then at the end of it, showing my rep PBs for the first 4 weeks and showing and demonstrating the progress from that. What I aim to do from this whole docu-series is to explain and show young and new lifters the whole rationale behind how to train and how to move forward and how to gain strength. We were all new lifters one day with no idea what we were doing in the gym, and hopefully this can be a platform for people to understand how to move forward with that, actually on a journey with somebody who is doing it themselves. So please like, share and subscribe for the channel so I can reach as many people as possible who can get the benefit of this type of journey firsthand. I hope you guys enjoy the content and I hope you enjoy taking this journey with me. Good morning. It is Monday, the 27th of July. Just finished my first session, which was absolutely sick. The gym is so cool. Proper strongman and powerlifting gym. Met the coaches there, all super cool guys. Really nice, really helpful. Everyone really welcoming that was in there. Got to the gym at like 5:30, started training about 5:45. Everybody's been drilling into me since I started to research this, and I've been looking into this, how important the sleep schedule is and making sure you get not just enough sleep, but the right kind of sleep, if that makes sense. I was in bed at 9 p.m. last night, up at 5 a.m. this morning. Like I said, I feel absolutely awesome. So trained today. I feel really good after the session. Feel it most in my lower traps and in my core, which is pretty weird, but again, I don't know the science behind it. So yeah, it was pretty sweet. Anyway, I'm going to shut up now and show you an overview of my first 2 weeks of the training program. Hi guys, I'm at Winning Strength in Southampton with the owner Tom Hibbert, who's doing all my programming. Just finished the last workout of week 1, which as you can see was pretty taxing. So I'm going to run through a few questions with Tom. So Tom, if you just want to give us a bit of a background about yourself and your achievements.
Yeah, sure. So my name's Tom Hibbert. I'm the owner of Winning Strength Southampton and Winning Strength Online. It's kind of a Winning Strength group thing we've got going on. We've got Winning Strength equipment coming. I'm probably most well known for strongman. I'm a former under 90 kilo strongman. I've won the national title 3 times. So England's strongest man under 90 3 times. I came second at Worlds. I've had the log world record at under 90. I've got the log British record at under 105. I've got various strength athletes I trained from a guy called Graham Hicks, Mikael Licht, Denmark's 6 times strongest man, various powerlifters and clients all around the world. So I'm a strength athlete, mainly strongman. I only lift the log now, and then I'm also a strength coach, specialising in strength and performance.
Okay, cool. So as I've mentioned previously, I'm on a quite a specific program at the moment that Tom has put together. So the sort of program that you've put together, can you just explain why you've put me on that program and what the rationale behind that program is?
So if you want to read more about the program, if you go to Winning Strength Online, go to free articles, type in Norwegian multi-frequency method. This is literally the method we're using with Michael at the moment. So it's a great method for beginners because it gives a high exposure to like the squat movement pattern, which means you can learn the skill better. Bill Kazmaier is one of many people that said, squat more to squat more. Squatting is a skill. It's like juggling. If you want to learn to juggle, you wouldn't juggle once a week, you juggle every day. And squatting is much the same. So because it's multi-frequency, it's low intensity. What that means is intensity is a measure of 1RM. So some people think intensities, I had a really intense workout. Well, when we're talking about the scientific data, we're looking at intensity as a measure of 1RM. So most of the things we've asked you to do this week, we've gone, look, start at a 60% of 1RM, start at a 6 out of 10 RPE for this week, and then we'll build up. The premise is really simple. You start at 3 sets of, it's either 6, 8 or 10. Each week we drop a rep and add a set, which means we add more weight. Mm-hmm. So weeks 1, 2, and 3, we use the same weight, which we refer to as a 0% spread. So whatever you start at the first set, the idea is to finish at the last set. Then week 4 is where I kind of let you off the leash. We only do 2 sets, but you can ramp up and push a little more. What am I expecting to see? I'm expecting to see the skill set of squatting to improve, which will then improve your 1RM. Or on this case, it's going to be 5s and 6 RMs by the time we get to week 4. It's one of those ones that's a slow burner. You do 1 block, then you drop back down, you do another block that's slightly more, and you just slowly but surely build up the intensity, i.e. the weights you're moving over a longer period. Like, you do an initial 9-week block or 8-week block, deload, then another 8-week block where you'll go, again, 5 kilos more. Strength is the long-term game. If you're trying to get strong quickly, then usually leads to problems. The idea is to get strong over a long time. You ask Zydrunas Savickas, he added 5 kilos every quarter or 5 kilos a year. If you do that over 20 years, you'll be laughing. Perfect example is the guy that used this method, Carl Ingvar Christensen, who ended up scoring 495 with, I think, just reps and a single ply suit. So an incredibly strong guy. You're also pressing 4 times a week, I believe. Mm-hmm. And again, different angles. So you can do multi-frequency with squat and pressing as long as you change the style. So we're not doing the same squat. We're doing 4 different types of squats. We're doing 4 different angles of pressing. And then you can deadlift up to 2 times. With you, we're just deadlifting once right now. And then we put an RDL in because you're not quite ready to deadlift twice. If you were going to deadlift twice, you would do 1 from the floor, 1 partial. But there's many ways of doing it. And then we've got a small amount of assistance work. In the first 2 weeks. The second 2 weeks, the assistance work disappears because you're doing 5 sets on sometimes 2 exercises, like 5 sets of squats, 5 sets of presses. You don't want to be doing any assistance work after that because it's going to be quite a big volume. So the assistant work is something I'd want to touch on. So I'm doing some exercises sort of towards the end of each session, which I've never done before. Yeah. And at first they don't seem like they're going to be difficult, but they are like really taxing. So just wanted to understand why they're thrown in there. What is So a lot of them are to do with the posterior chain, like the one you did today, glute hand raise. I I use a quote that Louis Simmons uses. It's kind of like the dead areas. So imagine you're deadlifting or you're squatting. When you're standing upright, when you're bolt upright, your posterior chain isn't really doing anything. You've got compression through your spine, but your erector spinae from the tailbone all the way up to your neck's not doing anything. So what we do is we obviously put you on a back extension, and now when you're upright, your erector spinae are firing at the top end of the strength curve. It's really important for long-term strength gains, but also what I refer to as structural balance, which is a concept Charles Poliquin introduced to me. So the idea is we need to strengthen you up through all strength curves. If we just do deadlifts, just do squats, we do not get that. So the assistance work helps balance you out essentially.
Okay, cool. So thanks for that. So obviously the first program is programmed over a 9-week period. So towards the end of the program and at the end of the program, what is the sort of expected result in your mind that we would?
I'd be confident of you hitting 1RMs, like new repetition maxes. Obviously, there's going to be a technical element because obviously you deadlift before. You're not going to be deadlifting like that this time.
No.
I think you'll still hit that weight or more with better technique. But the other thing you'll also hit is rep PBs. So if we look at a pyramid, the pyramid can only be as tall as one's base. So if we build your 5 RMs, your 4 RMs, 3s, 2s, you'll at least have the potential to lift more. So we're going to monitor all that. The other thing you'll find, and it's a weird feeling, you'll feel strong at heavier weights all the way through. Because of the different squats we're doing and the different strength curves and the different presses, what you'll find is there'll be no sticking points. It's one of those programs that really does help eradicate sticking points. You'll be strong all the way through the movement, so you'll feel like you can do more and more reps. So the first block, I think you'll probably hit rep PBs, 3 to 5 RMs, and then the second block, you'll probably be hitting singles and doubles a lot heavier. It depends individual to individual, so you can't necessarily go, look, you're definitely going to hit a 1RM, but I'd be pretty confident of it because you've never squatted 4 times a week. You've never done some of these squats.
No.
The challenge is, can we keep your technique tidy enough to hit good 1RMs like the deadlift before is not something we want to go back to. With that posture, we want to be able to lift it with a flat back, essentially.
Okay, well, thanks for that, Thomas. Hopefully that's cleared up some of the things that I've been trying to explain. So, just finished week 4 of the program. How do I feel? Honestly, never felt better. Everybody was drilling into me how important the sleep was for recovery as part of this. So I've been aiming to get about 8 or 9 hours sleep a night, and I just feel incredible from it. So the second week was second intensity week. So was aiming for a rep PB each day on a different movement. So squat was around 165, that's kilos. So I could get about 140 for a triple. So I managed to get 145 kilos for 5 at a slow tempo. Had still some left in the tank, so that's definitely moved up considerably. Felt really good as well. Deadlift was at just over 200, so I hit 170 for 5. And I feel like I could have gone heavier on that. And the most important thing is that my technique has improved significantly on that. And my bench 1 rep max was at 130, so I hit 120 for 3. But I was very disappointed at it, and Tom explained to me that it's potentially due to the fatigue of hitting 3 days that week already of rep PBs. So I was pretty fatigued for that. All in all, my technique on each of the lifts is so much better, and I feel so much stronger through the whole movement, as Tom said would happen. There's not really any weak points to it, so honestly I feel absolutely awesome. Really, really happy with it. So let's have a look at what some of those rep PBs looked like.
Shut up and sit down. and sit down.
Yeah, I know what you're thinking. Absolute machine. Gonna wind the episode up here because that's the end of 4 weeks. So hope you guys enjoyed it, and hope you tune into the next 4-week episode where I'm going to be hitting some PRs at the end of it, and hopefully we'll have a date for my first comp by then as well. And please guys, subscribe to the channel, drop the video a like, or you can find me on Instagram for more content at Into Lifting.